This is another live video, but my first Lego Star Wars live. I wanted to do a little recap of the 2023 Lego Advent Calendar set number 75340. So, first off, let's talk about the moneymakers. Loved the minifigs on this set. Last year, remember, it was all Mandalorians themed. This one was kind of a mix match of prequel and original trilogy designs. Of course, the kind of star of the show is the Summer Vader with his little Death Star tank top and flippers and a little shovel. So we have the Vader's Sandcastle, which I really love. I think this is just so cute, and the idea that Vader's on vacation and he makes a sandcastle version of his castle. Little bucket, little shovel. Never really did figure out what this volleyball is supposed to be, or like a beach ball, I guess, beach ball. But it just kind of hangs out and doesn't really have any markings on it, so I don't know about that guy. If you folks know, let me know in the comments if you know what this is supposed to be, or maybe it's a snowball. I don't know, because some of these sets are built around like a snowball fight is usually what they go for. You know, you can kind of see in the background there's a snowman. I don't know. It's just cute. Whatever. It's for fun. So, next up, the other two stars of the show is, of course, the C3PO and R2 wearing the ugly Christmas sweaters of each other. R2 wearing a C3PO ugly Christmas sweater, C3PO wearing an R2. Really cute, really fun kind of minifig action with those guys. Moving on, we've got a Hoth Luke, nothing we haven't seen before, but that fills out the kind of Hoth routine that we had for like 4 or 5 days in a row with a Snowtrooper, which came in the Snowtrooper Battle Pack, same one there. A gun rack equipment case thing. Probably the worst thing that we had in the set that really serves no purpose and is just kind of there to be there. I don't really know why they do those. Continuing with the confusing part is this Hoth kind of diorama thing. I was hoping that there'd be a Wampa there, and I could never figure out a way for Luke to hang, except I don't know if this was intended, but this is the best I got for that. So, I mean, yeah, it looks kind of good like that, but kind of recreating that Wampa Cave scene, I guess. Another kind of dud day for this one with a little bone hanging there, and I don't know. It's just this one was kind of a miss. I'd rather they put in just almost anything else. Continuing on the Hoth theme, there is this gun emplacement, like a Rebel Hoth protecting Echo Base, a now that I'm looking at this, could be a radar dish or one of those dish-shaped guns that they had on Hoth. Could be either of those, I guess. I don't really know. It looks all right, I guess. And speaking of buildings, we have this antenna slash maybe a moisture evaporator thing from Tatooine. The only thing that makes me say that is the sand-colored brick on the bottom of this tile. I don't know. Like, maybe change it out for a white one and say that this is just some random Hoth equipment. So if you're building your kind of Hoth set, you've got these guys out protecting and some gear. I don't know. It's kind of these all were kind of a miss for me and just filler pieces. But of course, I'm way more interested in the minifigs and the ship micro builds. So moving on from there. Speaking of minifigs, a Phase 1 Clone Commander, I believe we were calling this. Unnamed Clone Commander from Episode 2. And the same one that came in the UCS Clone Gunship. Yeah, who couldn't use another Phase 1 trooper? A little angry expression on there, not the newer face. And, still, you notice the holes, so it is the newer helmet there that they have with the holes for those extra parts of the antenna and visor, rangefinder, etc. that are coming in current and future sets. So, though this one kind of random clone trooper build or clone trooper minifig to go with another battle droid, because who couldn't use a B1 battle droid? If you don't have 1,000 of these already, now you've got one more to just hang out. But, it's always a fun little guy to have. And I don't know, when I think about these advent calendars, what am I going to do with these sets? The ones that are really fun and Christmassy, I like to display. But an extra clone trooper, an extra battle droid, an extra snow trooper, just to throw in the collection. Why not? So, onto the ships. Oh, of course, how could I forget our boy, this very derpy looking gonk droid. Santa gonk droid is what we're going for here. This ingot piece in the front kind of throws everything off, and then we have this like snowy beard and a little hat. I think it's a round peg in a square hole here. Like, the gonk droid is very square, but they're trying to add elements to an already very simple shape. They've gone through a couple iterations of the gonk droid, and this has got to be one of the worst. I get it. It's red, it's got a little hat, a little beard or something. Beard or icicles hanging down. This doesn't really do it for me. And I love our boy gonk droid. I love it for the meme, and from far away, it's really hard to tell what this is even supposed to be. So I had high hopes for the Christmas gonk droid. It didn't really do it for me. It's kind of tiled off on the side and back. Kind of a medium assortment here when you look at it. But of course, our big 3 stars are really crushing it over here with R2-3PO and Darth Vader. So I really like the ships. Of course, I like the minifigs. It's my favorite part of Lego Star Wars is just the minifigs, but I also really enjoy a good micro build, and they have that going here with all of the different ships and vehicles, etc. that we have. So the first one is, again, kind of rounding out the Hoth collection, is this micro ATST. Comes with a little snow plate, so it can be like mid-step. Lore accurate with like the cannon on one side and the missile launchers and the big cannon on the bottom. Would have been nice if that was like a dual cannon, but yeah, just with that little round piece there. They made, this is a great job of like implying a ATST with a very small amount of pieces. And like I've said before, they need to describe the build using just one photograph. So they can't do a several step build. It's got to just be something that they can describe all of the steps using one photo, which is often an almost completed model, and it just shows you kind of where the pieces go. So I'm always fascinated by how they're able to do that. So that definitely is one of the limiting factors on what they can do and how complicated they can make these builds. Taking it up top to the ships, I love the little micro builds. It's always a surprise of what this is going to be and how they're going to do it. Little Acclamator Star Destroyer, again from Episode 2. So far it's a lot of Hoth and a lot of Episode 2 stuff, I'm noticing. So Attack of the Clones, big Star Destroyer troop carrier, looks really good, real sleek. Always impressed with what they can do with these. Definitely got that engine right and the kind of back fin, top with the kind of bridge command station there. Yeah, it's cool. Good job, guys. Again, we're going back to the prequels. Tri-Fighter. Droid Tri-Fighter looks pretty cool. At first I thought this was like an antenna, because it kind of looks just like a random set piece thing. But I think they did a good job on this guy. Just, kind of a complicated build considering how few pieces it was. Or I should say it's a complicated shape. So they did a great job of making that really simple and able to describe in one picture, like I've said. And TIE Interceptor, looking good. Just real simple, real sleek, real, nothing really that fascinating about it, but yeah, it's just kind of a cool. I haven't seen like a micro TIE fighter in the last couple advent calendars, so this one was a nice little surprise. Getting those curves right for like bending the wings is, I'm always amazed. They did a really good job of kind of having those lock into place, but also being bent back in the direction that they're supposed to. So great job, A+ there. That was a really fun build to put together and Nice little surprise. Snow speeder from New Hope, the other air speeder, right? Land speeder. Sorry. Okay, I know Star Wars. That's the land speeder. The ubiquitous Luke's land speeder, which is almost a meme, it seems, of all the different iterations of this. We did have that micro land speeder in that diorama set. That was the exclusive. Was that the May 4th exclusive? Came with a little very micro Lars Homestead, and it had a little one of these pretty similar to that, a little bit bigger than that, but obviously smaller than like an actual micro build that would fit a single minifig in it. So this kind of implied Luke and 3PO in here. It's cute. And, I think they make so many of these Luke's land speeders because it is kind of iconic Star Wars, right? It's just New Hope. It's Luke's vehicle. It's right when we meet him on Tatooine. Not my favorite design. It does scream original trilogy and that kind of used future that Lucas did so well. So good piece, good build. Nice to have. I don't know. Again, like, I'm kind of coming up with a good collection of lackluster things. So let's get to a good one. The Havoc Marauder from the Bad Batch. Really cool. They did go with that sand blue color instead of gray for this, just like on the full-sized Bad Batch shuttle, which I find really interesting. They had an opportunity to do it in gray, but still chose that sand blue. A couple angles that don't look great for it. It kind of shows off the simplicity of the build, but if you kind of angle it right, you look at the right side there, it looks really good. It does. The wings will fold up, and you have to kind of pitch them down, not too far, but make them lore accurate and kind of, I don't know, like that, maybe a little more. Sure. Yeah, Havoc Marauder, Bad Batch shuttle. There it is. Not bad. Not bad. Actually, I would say quite good. I think they did a great job on that one. Going back to A New Hope, we've got Luke's Skyhopper again. Another one that kind of looks like here, it's like, oh, is this a Imperial shuttle? Really hard to see except when you look at it straight on. That is kind of the money angle. Yeah. This one, not my favorite ship. Not very exciting to me personally, but I think it was a good build. A lot of these just kind of sums up how I feel about them. Not my favorite ships, like the Havoc Marauder. I really like that. So that's my favorite of these so far. Until we get to our boy, Gunship. Here we go. Little clone gunship here. It's got the open interior for our friends to climb in and out of. Again, just like with the Havoc Marauder, these are freestanding, so you have to pitch them the proper way. Got the cannons on top. Yeah, just they got the rear of it right. The core shape is just really looks really good. This thing is an interesting way that they challenge this slope of just putting that guy right there. Last ship is good old B-Wing. Really thought this was a Resistance bomber. Thought we would have something from the sequel trilogy in here, but I guess not. So B-Wing, S-foils can come down, and we can go into, so it'd be like flying sideways. This one is great. I think this and the gunship are my favorite ships that they did here. I'm not gonna like hang on to this and display it or anything, but it looks really good. They did a great job with a little, like they always do. So, the ships are always a high point for me because you never really know what you're going to get and what they're going to do and how they're going to do it. So sometimes they're terrible, sometimes they're great. It's always a nice surprise. I think the ships in general this year were okay. Just okay. Maybe B-. As for the kind of Hoth set that we have of the gun and the Wampa Cave mini diorama thing, not my favorite. A lot of filler, but I remember last year at the Mandalorian, there were a ton of those little, there's like a thing for the troopers to hide behind, or just, a lot of stuff like this, like a gun case that almost serves no purpose. Of course, this wouldn't be complete without a shout out to the myriad of extra pieces. Now, I know they do this by weight, so they always throw in a few extra pieces, but what the heck? This feels like such a waste to me. So this is all gonna go in my extra pieces collection, but so many little 1x1 studs and random little pieces here. There's an extra like Vader's mask, the bottom of his mask here. What the heck, people? Like, I'm just really, I know they don't want to run out of anything. They don't want to say, hey, you didn't send us a full set, and I know they're weight based, but I don't know if anybody can come up with a better explanation for the why there are so many extra pieces, because literally every set has at least one of these, and sometimes it's like 3 or 4, depending on the complexity of the build. There's an extra bone. What am I gonna do with an extra bone? You know, if this Hoth Wampa set did not have the bone on it, I wouldn't have even noticed. I wouldn't care. So I just, Lego's trying to find ways to conserve, use less plastic, etc. I cannot for the life of me figure out why they do this. I would rather, I know it sucks to have an incomplete set, but you send them an email, tell them what piece you want, and they'll give you the set that they'll give you that piece that you're missing. So it seems like a lot for no reason, all of those pieces. So I don't know, if anybody has a better explanation for why they throw in so many extra parts, I will gladly listen and share it with you folks. So if you know, let me know in the comments. So if you're new here, of course, subscribe, stay tuned for some more Lego Star Wars reviews and builds and etc. All things Lego Star Wars. Overall, what do I think? I think this was a good advent calendar. I think it's a buy. If you can find it used, or you can still find a new in-box one and you want to just kind of open them up and play with them, I think it's a good buy. I really love the Vader and the Vader's Castle. I think those are just A+ little parts here. And the R2 and 3PO are really cool, really fun. A lot of fun little builds. I think this is one of the better ones of recent memory, even though I did kind of rag on a lot of the parts, but I would say the Mandalorian one was even more restrictive and just didn't have that many great minifigs in it, didn't have that many great builds. It's kind of medium, and this one really got me excited. I loved the Vader. Opening that up was just so exciting. It's great to have another clone. I could take or leave the battle droid, but a little snowtrooper. I did like the Hoth thing because it's Christmas, snow. If they had done all Hoth, maybe that would be a little repetitive. So just having like 5 days of Hoth was kind of nice. The Hoth Luke, he's ready for winter. They could have done something with this to go with the Vader. That would have been really nice to have him be like snowball fight Luke. Because most of the minifigures, well, I shouldn't say most, but in this case, 3 out of the 6 minifigures are unique. They're special to this set. And then they just give you kind of 3 random ones. I'm okay with a random snowtrooper. That makes sense. Give me Hoth Luke, but give him a different shirt, or give him like a snowball gun, or I don't know, something. Come on, Lego designers. That's their job to figure out. So, still a good build, still good collection of little minifigs. Yeah, so if you can have the opportunity to go get one, find it on Bricklink or wherever you buy your new and used Legos, pick one up. I think it's fun. I think it's nice to have a few extra minifigs for your collection, and if you're into these micro build ships like I am, you get a really cool gunship, good B-Wing, good Havoc Marauder, a lot of good stuff, a lot of okay stuff. So I know it's not as exciting to say it's just kind of pretty good but not great, but that's what we're going with. Come on, Luke. We're going with good, not great, but parts of it being really great. All right, take us home, Vader. So I'm gonna head out. If you're new to the channel, please like, subscribe, etc. Leave a comment, do all that jazz for the algorithm, because we're all beholden to that algorithm. So anyways, I'm gonna let y'all go. Vader's gonna say goodbye to you, and thanks for watching so much. We'll see you folks next time. Bye-bye.